BOX5-TV and Marching Arts Education present Marching Arts Now!
Hello everyone, this is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. Welcome to this week's episode of Marching Arts Now. On this episode, we review 4 of our favorite moments from last weekend's regionals. We meet 3 couples who are one band director and one marching arts designer. We find out how students created a working robot for their band show. And we look forward to this coming weekend's BOA Regional action. But first, last week 4 college drum majors conducted for us, and you went to Instagram to vote. The drum major getting the most votes was Jordan from Florida State University.
Hey everybody, my name is Jordan Fraze. I'm the head drum major here at Florida State University. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who came out and voted for me in the last episode of the Marching Arts Education podcast. It was a ton of fun getting to conduct and dance alongside 3 really fantastic drum majors. A great job to them. But thank you everyone. I truly appreciate the votes, and thank you Tim for the opportunity. And it's an honor to represent Florida State, and thank you sincerely. And as always, go Noles.
One more time!
Hey, it's Tim, and I'm here with 2 color guard gurus. This is going to be such a fun discussion. We're going to talk about 4 shows that everybody was buzzing about last weekend. Jackie Brown, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Tim?
I'm great. And Courtney Coffey, thanks for being here. How are you, Courtney?
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'm great. Thanks.
Great to see you. So each of you, give everybody a quick introduction of who you are. Jackie, I'll let you go first.
Hi, my name is Jackie Brown. I'm the director of Spintronics Color Guard, and I am also the education director of Guard Closet.
Fantastic. And Courtney, how about you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Courtney Coffey. I've been involved in the color guard community for 10 plus years as a performer, director, and designer, and I'm the founder of Simply Color Guard.
We're going to start from the Cedar Falls Regional with Papillion-LaVista. All right, this was a really fan favorite show about trains. Jackie, what'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. I think that whenever you can get the point of the show across and the storyline of the show across visually as quick as you can, like they did with this train motif with their costuming and their flags, just it works out so much better and it makes the show so much more enjoyable.
Absolutely. How about you, Courtney?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the theme was really, really well done. They were very clear with the costumes, with the flags. The soloist was gorgeous. They had a beautiful movement book as well, so incorporating that with the flag work was really well done.
Yeah, and listen, everybody, it doesn't have to be complicated. Like sometimes a really simple, clear theme is just what you need, and this band is proof. Absolutely. All right, let's go to our next band, Susquehanna from the College Park Regional. All right, Courtney, I'll let you go first this time. You have 20 seconds. What'd you think?
I am a huge fan of rifle and like drum blocks. They were amazing. So like they were very clean, they were very precise, which you have to be with weapon. I just applaud their technique in that. So great job.
Absolutely. Jackie?
Looking at their technique was really great, and the fact that they were able to use choreography that kind of like went with their drill and move them through their drill helped them out so much in that area. I also really enjoyed the visuals of the mirrors as backdrops because that kind of opens up the field and gives you this idea that the whole, not just the guard, but the whole band is like so much bigger than they are.
Absolutely. Of course, every small band needs to make their stage smaller, and I thought they did that with those mirror props really effectively. And I loved the way they used them when they're flipping around and they flipped another way. Like that was all really interesting to me as a way to create a lot of visual impact, you know, with not a lot of performers. So really good job to those guys. Next up, we have Cleveland High School from the College Park Regional. So a modern day Romeo and Juliet, very interesting. The brass is in one color, the woodwind's in another. What do you think, Jackie?
I really like that somebody really did their research on multiple different Romeo and Juliet stories, because you see kind of that Romeo and Juliet, the classical way of doing it, and then you also kind of have that color incorporation of like West Side Story, some of the other stuff going on. And honestly, those rifles were so stinking clean. That was just, I appreciated that so much. Yes, yes, ma'am.
How about you, Courtney?
Yeah, man, I was gonna say those rifles were on it. But I agree. I think you can really see the research that was done. They're telling a story, and even in the short clip that we saw, you can really see the story come through. And I also really like how clear their movement was. You can really see that all of their choreography was driven with movement, which is really, really important. So fantastic job.
Absolutely, and just seeing this little bit of the beginning of the ballad really makes me want to watch the whole ballad again because it was so beautiful. And that flute soloist, A++. I mean, this is the thing, everybody. If you have a great soloist, make sure you feature them in the right way, and this band did that absolutely for sure. All right, last band we're going to watch is Hebron High School from the Dallas-Fort Worth Regional. All right, Courtney, 20 seconds. What'd you think?
First, I want to give major props to that musical ensemble. Like, they were so crisp and clear with all of their notes and their footwork. It was gorgeous. That guard was like booging it across the field too. But they were doing a lot of A-B work, which was also very clear, which is hard to do. It can get really messy. So good job to them, and great job to their techs who cleaned that, because it was beautiful.
No doubt. What about Jackie?
I really liked how the sort of chaos that you're feeling in the music came through in the drill. And even though the drill was like super clean, but then you have like this spiral winding up, and you have like this blocks coming together, and you have all this chaotic stuff coming together and becoming very, very organized. And then that's when the music all becomes very, very organized as well. And then you have the color guard running every which way with these gigantic backdrops. And then they kind of all organize themselves out at the same time too. So everything kind of hits at the same time, and that just kind of brings the visual to what's happening musically. And that's really what you want to do in marching band, is you want to be able, especially as the color guard, but also through the drill, give the audience a visual of what's happening musically. And I think they did that really well.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. I had to include that part where the brass is playing this insanely articulated thing while they're moving everybody. None of this stand around and play. They're doing body stuff, they're marching. They did that a lot in the show. Super, super impressive. So difficult. I love it when people play difficult stuff and they move. I'm very old school about that, I know, but it's really impressive, and I love those responsibilities. Jackie and Courtney, you guys were absolutely wonderful. Thanks for talking about shows with me for a few minutes today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Here's an excerpt from a conversation we had with Debbie Lafferty from Music for All. You can hear this entire conversation on this week's BOA Today podcast, available at the Marching Roundtable. Hey everybody, it's Tim Hinton from the Marching Roundtable. I'm here today talking with Debbie Lafferty from Music for All. Debbie, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So thanks for being here. We're going to talk a little bit about your position at Music for All, your career, about diversity going on in the marching arts in our world right now. But first off, I just want to say, marching band is back. Bands of America contests are happening. What are you thinking about all that?
Oh gosh, just so grateful that we're able to do this. Like many people, I think, that have been in stadiums this fall and watching online, it's pretty emotional to see those student performers out on the field. So just really happy that we're back doing what we love, and that we're getting to see the students perform again.
Absolutely. And I have to tell you, Debbie, like, you guys did not miss a beat. Like, you know, a whole season off, and like every regional is going off like clockwork. You guys just have a system down of taking care of students. Such a professional sort of experience for everybody. It's really impressive.
Well, our goal is to create the place, the space where the bands and the directors and the students can come and not have to worry about anything but their performance. And so, we're known for being pretty structured with our schedule and how bands go through the system. And that's to take those questions away so that no one has to worry. You know when to show up, you know what to do. You get on the form, you shine and do your performance. That's what you're there for. And then, we help move you through your day. So that's our goal, is to provide that structure and space where the performance is the thing.
Joining us. Hey everybody, it's Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. Thank you for watching. This is going to be so much fun. We have some couples here tonight. One is a band director and one is a marching arts designer. And we're going to compare notes about all of that with these couples. First up, Evan and Melissa Hinds. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Thank you for being here. Also on the line with us, Kevin and Karen Wellborn. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Thanks for being here. And Robert and Susan Smith. How are you guys?
Hey, doing great. Thanks.
Robert W. Smith is a well-known band composer, and he and his wife Susan both teach at Troy University in Troy, Alabama. Melissa Gustafson Hinds is the director of bands at O'Fallon Township High School in O'Fallon, Illinois, and her husband Evan Hinds is a full-time drill designer. Kevin Wellborn is the associate director of athletic bands at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and his wife Karen works for a law firm and is also a designer and color guard instructor. So, all right, let's totally change gears. I'm going to go back to Robert and Susan. I want to know which of you has the best jazz run.
Well, I was that pianist and lead trumpet player in the jazz ensemble.
I think jazz run visually.
Oh, jazz run. I thought you were talking musically.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Musically.
I would say no.
I love that.
That's great. Yeah, man. There are jazz runs all over the place. I got them for you. I can sing it at request. We are on a marching arts podcast.
So I'm talking about fly across the field like a gazelle with your legs extended. Like, which of you would do that? At least
there's the effect you're looking for. The effect you're looking for. If you want the gazelle, okay. If you want strict comedy. We asked each couple a whole series of questions, and they each wrote down the answer that they thought their spouse would give. It's a lot of fun. We're only going to share one of those here, but you can watch the entire conversation and all the questions at the Marching Roundtable YouTube channel. See how well you know each other. What is your partner's biggest pet peeve about the marching arts? Like, what do they grouse about the marching arts all the time? You were answering what their answer would be. There's got to be something that just bugs them that happens in the marching arts. Okay, so Robert and Susan, it looks like you're ready. Are you both ready with your answers? Sure.
Yeah.
You ready?
Okay, hold them up to the screen. Let's see what transitions or lack thereof. And she said musical snippets. Those are definitely pet peeves in my book. Did you guys get it right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I write for film and television and audio visual media, and I'm one of the guys that started actually composing in the marching arts for original, but I got to tell you, it just concerns me greatly that the musical integrity is waning with each and every year. And there's a reason that composers don't want their music involved with drum corps anymore. And that really concerns me. And it's a very serious subject with me. So please make sure music is at the same level of artistry that we do so well with our visual programs.
Yeah, we hate visual transitions that are problems, but we don't have enough people that maybe are knowledgeable enough whether the musical transitions are working at the same level. I don't mean to sound whatever.
And Robert, every time I have a conversation with somebody and they talk about something in a show that they loved, it was a moment that was given time to develop. And it had a long phrase. And that's hard, but that's what people respond to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so Evan and Melissa, are you guys ready with your answers?
Right.
Did you write something down yet?
Yeah, I have a guy thing I haven't heard her complain about. She just does it.
Hold up, you got any guesses?
I got nothing. I'm empty.
Oh, nothing? No complaints.
I don't know what her complaints would be. She seems to just go with it and be positive about it and make it work. You know, if it's a pain in the ass, she still figures it out anyway.
Well,
know?
Melissa, what'd you write down?
So I wrote, this is from like the drill writer perspective, because I do hear the woes of that. And so I put not having all the information. You know, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm waiting for this, or someone's rewriting, or the guard person, no offense, you know, or there's someone on the staff that thinks they know, or, you know what I mean? Like, who's the soloist? The band director's waiting on a thing and they don't get back. It's all that, like, you're just kind of waiting here. You're at bay and still waiting for everybody else to make decisions that, from the drill perspective, may not be the right ones, but other people think that they are. So I hear that a little bit from, you know, I know when we hire our designers at O'Fallon, past and present, you know, from, I guess I would say 2011 and on, those people, or even before, like I hire them and I trust them. And so maybe that's the reason Evan didn't have anything to say, is I trust them. That's why I've hired them to do the job. And when I question it, I'll be like, well, what could I do to fix this? Or why is this not working? And then they'll give me some teaching strategies of what I need to do, or maybe there is a change that's needed, it just didn't work. But I trust them, and I try not to be that band director that's in the way, because I've hired them because they're better than me at doing those things. So, and I hope that I'm good enough to transfer the product to our kids so they have a good time and a good experience. So it's just being on top of
you mentioned that, because I think band directors are often very bad at trusting their designers and getting out of the way. I think they're so stressed out about it being right that sometimes they just can't let go. So I think it's nice that you mentioned that. That is a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of that. So I'm like, well, you're writing the drill because I'm not going to do it. And I've hired you because you're great, or you're my visual coordinator, or you're my music person. And, you know, I've trusted everybody along the way. It's like, you tell me to jump this high, and I'll jump that high and more. I know that's how I've done it.
That's great. Kevin and Karen, hold up your answers. Did you have a pet peeve that you thought for the other one?
I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but I know it's something he always harps on. Timing with the full ensemble, and the drum major conducting to feet and not listening to the band.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. I knew it was either going to be like left to right, front to back ensemble timing, or just the and good. Don't get me wrong. Good groups. I say good groups. Most groups these days don't have this problem, but you still find it every now and then. But the competing of how many people have their hands in the music design. You know, if with front ensemble, winds, battery, and possibly more, sometimes it seems as if, when I hear some shows, it seems as if everyone wanted their moment, and even if it wasn't supposed to really be their moment at that point, that somebody said, okay, let's have this be their moment, and it might not have gelled. So I thought that was either going to be that, we've talked about that before, or obviously the timing. That's a big one of mine. I would give her that.
Did you write down something for her?
I did. I wrote, and when I thought marching arts, I kind of went to my brain immediately went to some scholastic indoor, either winter guard, indoor percussion, stuff like that. And I wrote dancers with no instructors, people that think they need some dancers in this, but they don't have the on-hand instructors. So they put them out there, and it might not be exactly what they thought it was going to be. I've heard her talk about that. And then transitions, of course. Just not just guard, but all visual transitions. I believe someone mentioned that same thing earlier, just trying to make that as seamless as possible, and make the transition make sense within the concept itself, and that sort of stuff. So, but yeah,
I would agree with that.
All right, I'm going to ask you two more questions. By the way, I'm going to go on record as saying my pet peeve is saggy, ill-fitting drum major pants. I hate that. Anyway, moving on. Remember, you can see our entire conversation and all the questions we ask them at the Marching Roundtable YouTube channel. Just search for Marching Roundtable on YouTube. We want to know your favorite thing about the marching arts. Go to Marching Arts Education on Instagram at Marching Arts Education and comment on your favorite thing. We'll be randomly choosing one winner to get a free t-shirt to any marching group of your choice.
The field is yours.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Hinton from Marching Arts Education. You are going to love this conversation. Imagine that you had a show idea that involved robots, and then but you're like, I'd love to have a real robot on the field, but then the next thing that happens is you go, no, that's not possible. That can't possibly happen. Well, all right. Granite City High School Band actually made it happen. So we're going to talk to them today. Wyatt Roberds, how are you, sir?
Hey, we're doing great.
Wyatt is the band director at Granite City in Granite City, Illinois. Wyatt, introduce everybody that's there with you today.
Great. First, we have Amy Heath. She's our robotics team sponsor. We have Ava Hoppe. This is our robot build team and driver. And then we have Fred SanSoucie, and he is our robot project manager and also one of our trumpet players.
This is absolutely fantastic. And everybody look behind them because there it is. Like it's amazing. It's so cool. I'm so excited about this conversation. So Ava, is it like a video game console or something? Like what do the controls look like?
So it's technically a drone controller, but I mean, yeah, it looks like a video game console. There's these two little pegs.
Come on up close and show us if you don't mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So there's these two joysticks. Do you see these? They're red. If I do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So to go forward, they both have to be pushed forward. To go back, I go both back. And to turn it, one goes forward, one goes back. Because we have it set up for a 0-degree turn.
And the lights were a challenge because actually they were trying to wire the lights directly, and of course that's where the challenge began.
So there's a separate team member that's doing the lights?
No, it's just all me.
You do both at the same time? Yeah. And have you crashed into anybody yet?
No.
Not that I'm doubting your skills as a driver, but maybe one time. I mean, come on, it's band. Somebody got crashed into. We all know this happened. All right. Anyway, so Wyatt, tell us about the show. Like, how does the robot fit into your show? Like, how does that work?
Sure. So the show is based on the 2014 movie Ex Machina, very loosely, basically where humans interact with artificial intelligence. The first movement of the show is where you see the two, the humans and the artificial intelligence or robot, start to interact a little bit. The second movement, you see the colors on the robot change to a softer blue, and the music, it's the ballad. So you kind of see them hopefully start to fall in love or the robot try to become more human. In the third movement, there's a part where it speeds up a little bit, and we see that the robot has realized that it's never going to be human, so it gets angry and starts to take over the world. So color-wise, it changes to red at that point. Alarms start sounding, and usually that's kind of where the crowd loses their mind. So you can kind of see the colors on the robot here.
Wait, so give us a demonstration, guys.
The first movement, this is just standing, it's just sitting at the back of the field. It's like he said, it's just the beginning where everything kind of starts fitting together. And so it's one in the entire first movement. And then second movement where it changes to that kind of softer, slower music, it turns blue. So it's a little more happy. It's trying to kind of get there. And then at the second or third movement, that's when it changes to red. Red. Because that's when it gets mad. It can't be human. And so that's when it gets angry, and then that's when it starts moving and coming out into the field.
But there's not too much space.
Yeah.
Come forward.
I don't want to hit you one.
No, come on. What do you mean? You already hit me once with her. So I know how much hard work band is, but I think Ava can attest that she had no idea.
I've truly learned how much work goes into the show. I never knew before. I used to just watch it, but now I get to be at practices, and I'm here all the time working on the robot or with it. And I've really just come to learn how much hard work they really put into it.
Fantastic. So Fred, did any of those companies that you called to ask for advice, did anybody offer you a job yet?
No, unfortunately, none of them have.
This is one of the great things about school and about band and about all of this. Like you spend time, you learn how to work hard, you work as a team. It's the stuff that the robotics team and band are all teaching our students. And so I think it's awesome. And Ava and Fred, I want to say, man, congratulations and thank you to you and everybody on your team. Say on behalf of us, I'll speak on behalf of the whole marching arts community. We love that you spend all this time because shows are way more work than most people know. And I'm glad that we could sort of talk about that today. And I appreciate all your time.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. This means a lot.
Absolutely. And Wyatt, thanks for reaching out to us. This was a great conversation.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Roundtable. I appreciate it.
Coming next week, we talk with 3 spouses of band directors.
There was a move where the color guard passed through the trumpets. And the first time we ran into each other, and the next time I kind of went around her and I looked at her, I said, "You need to go around me." And she says, "No, you need to go around me." And I didn't move and she didn't move and she hit me with her flag and we started dating.
The Rundown.
Hey, I'm here with Chris Drake from TX Bands. Chris, we had another great weekend that went off like clockwork.
Hey, Tim. Yes, it really did. It was great weather, great bands, everything you want on a Saturday. Just incredible.
Absolutely, and I'm very excited. We have two regionals coming up this weekend. One of them is in Orlando, where I am, so I'm very excited about that. Let's talk about what's coming up.
Yeah, so we're actually taking, for the first time this season, taking a break from the state of Texas. 2 regionals. We're still staying in the South, though. We got 2 regionals. One, as Tim said, in Orlando. Great representation in Orlando. Groups from Orlando, or from Florida, rather. Arkansas, the Carolinas. It's going to be a great show. Obviously, we're keeping our fingers crossed that it doesn't rain like Florida is known to do. So that's going to be an exciting day. It's going to be a longer day. We're starting at, I think, 9:30 that morning. So it's going to be a long, packed, full day of band. That's going to be really exciting. I'm excited because I'm going to Alabama, where the second show is at Jacksonville State. So not only are we going to be treated to outstanding performances by the bands that are performing, but the Jacksonville State University Marching Band, which is just always an incredible show. So, we've got a couple of former Grand National finalists and champions coming. We've got a wide depth of groups coming from Tennessee, Florida. So we have some groups from Florida that are coming to Alabama instead. Georgia, Mississippi. It's going to be 2 shows with not 3 or 4 like normal, but they're going to be stacked deep shows. It's going to be a very enjoyable weekend if you're watching at home or if you're able to make it out to one of those shows.
Absolutely. You're not going to want to miss the broadcast of BOX5-TV. And we have tons of great content that we're going to be sharing from Marching Arts Education. I want to say hi to my friend Clint Gillespie, who is one of the gurus there at Jacksonville State. Looking forward to seeing that performance very much. And I got to tell you, Chris, one of the great things about Orlando is people are very happy to make the trip down here because they come down, they do the show, and then, there's some other stuff to do in Orlando that makes for a great trip for bands. So we often have a lot of people travel down, which is awesome for us down here because we get to see such a variety of groups from all over.
Right. Yeah. I know it's always a destination. Back when I was in high school, I've been to the Orlando show. I competed at BOA in the Orlando show. I know all about those extracurricular fun activities.
That's awesome. It's going to be a great weekend. Everybody watch on BOX5-TV if you can't be there live. Chris, thanks for talking to me. And thanks again for all the great work that TX Bands is doing. Everybody check out those blogs live at every event. Make sure you see those.
Thanks, Tim.
Bring it in.
It was another fantastic week of performances, and we look forward to this coming weekend's shows as well. Thanks for watching. This is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. See you next week.
BOX5-TV and Marching Arts Education present Marching Arts Now.